So here I am with Cesare from Pio Cesare. What's the correct pronunciation of that?
Pio Cesare. I am Cesare from Pio Cesare Winery from Italy.
He does it a lot better than I do. You have
Yes.
to admit that, don't you? Right away. Very privileged, wonderful traditional winery based in Alba. Really amazing old traditional style wines, but in a really good way, the sort of way that we're looking for at the moment. We have some very good modern style Italian wines. We're looking for the more traditional style. And who better to talk us through than our man here. So we're going to start off with the Gavi here.
Yes.
Perhaps you just mention just a little bit about that.
Yes, of course.
For viewers.
Of course, Piedmont is very well known for red wines, but at the same time we are trying to do our best in making also quite a decent white wine. And one of the most important expression of Piemontese white wine is Gavi, which is made with a very local grape variety, which is Cortese. Gavi is a little town in the southern part of Piedmont, and we are making this wine since over than 60 years, so we can say that we have a quite a good experience in making Gavi. Gavi is very fresh, very fruity, with a very nice acidity, which is very well balanced by a very nice and very important salty character. That is the predominant characteristic of this grape variety.
Having just tried this wine a second ago, I was really very impressed with the minerality in particular. It's just great. It comes through beautifully, giving that fresh minerality, fresh crispness, good balancing acidity, and very fresh, very fresh. And as you said,
yes,
as an alternative to Sauvignon Blanc,
okay,
and about the same price as an average Sauvignon Blanc you might find from New Zealand,
yes,
this is a very different and interesting wine with more complexity.
Yes.
Really gorgeous.
Thank you so much. And we have Gavi is really a very important wine for Pio Cesare. We make around 40-45,000 bottles, so which is for a red wine producer is quite a good quantity of wines, even if we are totally oriented to the quality and not to the quantity.
I just want to ask you one question here.
Yes.
Well, further down the line, we're talking about the was it the Nebbiolo? I
Yes.
think it was.
Yes.
This is the wine that you're allowed to drink,
Yes.
but your wife's not allowed to drink.
Yes, of course.
Is your wife allowed to drink this particular wine?
Of course, because you know, it's a very nice and very easy drinking style. I hope that then I have to go back home. Thank you so much. And Gavi is really interesting to taste and to match with any kind of food you have in mind, starting from fish, shellfish, or sorry, but I am Italian. I'm always talking about Italian food. A very nice dish of pasta is great with Gavi.
This is certainly a wine we're looking to take on, and I think we will take on for certain. It's very good and lots of character to it. Let's move on. How about
Chardonnay?
the Chardonnay here.
Yes, it was back to around 30 years ago. We decided to make a small challenge, and we have been one of the very first in making and planting Chardonnay in our area. Chardonnay, of course, is an international grape variety, as you know better than myself. But Chardonnay in our region is very particular, with very nice mineral characteristic, which gives to this wine a unique characteristic, and makes the Chardonnay from Piedmont, in particular from Barolo and Barbaresco region, unique. So different from the Chardonnay from France, from California, from Australia, for example.
I guess the first question our viewers will want to know is, has this been an oak?
A little bit, just a little touch, so 25% of barrel fermentation, and then the rest in stainless steel tanks in order to conjugate the freshness to a little bit of aging potential.
So when I taste this wine, what I'm getting is fruit, not oak. I'm not getting much oak at all on this. I'm getting lovely minerally fruit and a delicate, elegant style of Chardonnay, not at all the big, overblown New World styles here. This is old world, classic winemaking, very much like you'd find perhaps in Burgundy.
Yeah.
Very nice wine, actually.
Yes, we have always been inspired by Burgundy, because in our point of view, Burgundy is a very important wine region, especially for white wines. And we have been inspired. We have a different style, more or less different style from Burgundy, but we have been inspired because we really love the Chardonnay, the very important and great Chardonnay from Burgundy.
Top class. Let's move on to the reds now.
Yes. we are with the Barbera that is already in my glass, and Piedmont is more well known for red wines, as I said as I told you before. Barbera is for us, together with Nebbiolo, the most planted grape variety in Piedmont, and also for our family, because Barbera is a wine that we consider the everyday wine of our region, because almost everybody in Piedmont, in Alba, they drink Barbera and also Dolcetto d'Alba almost every day.
Fantastic. What I like about this particular Barbera is that there's a certain amount of oak age here, which is very popular with reds and with whites anyway, which has just managed to sort of perhaps give a bit more body to the wine and a bit of smoothness. So what you've got here is a wine which is very easy to drink. It's not at all. Barbera comes in many different guises. It can be like really kind of nervy, very aromatic, quite lightweight, and it can also be fuller, creamier. This is the fuller, creamier style, very easy to enjoy. Classic picnic wine. Really lovely wine, actually.
And it's a wine that really, as I told you for the other two whites, is very easy to match with any kind of food. And I forgot to mention that Piedmont in particular, and also Pio Cesare, we have always been oriented in our winemaking style in making wine with which are very good, which could be very good with the food, because in Italy, and particularly in our region, we always drink wines together with the food, because we never have a glass of wine by itself, but always with something to eat together. That's why we are so fat. But this is a nice you know, mentality and a nice philosophy that is in Piedmont.
You've done rather well there, actually.
I'm trying, because I am dark. My clothes are dark, so that's I'm trying to, you know. And coming back to Barbera,
yes.
I can say that Barbera is really getting quite popular all around the world. We are having a great success all around the world with the Barbera grape, because Barbera is really starting to be very, very popular.
Excellent wine.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the next.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So this is the Nebbiolo.
Yes.
Of course, the classic grape variety used in Barolo.
Yes. Nebbiolo is very funny, because it comes from an Italian word, which is nebbia, and nebbia means fog. When usually we harvest Nebbiolo is mid-October, late October, and there is a lot of fog on our hills, and that's why the people of our area a long time ago, they have named this unique grape variety Nebbiolo.
Okay, so what we're seeing here is, in a way, a kind of a lesser Barolo.
Yeah.
At a better price.
Yes.
For much more everyday drinking.
Yes. Yes. It's not complex if you like Barolo, which is also, or Barbaresco, which are made 100% with the Nebbiolo grape variety. If you like them, but sometimes you are looking for something very similar and more for everyday wine, Nebbiolo is a very good alternative. It's a very nice wine, full of structure, with a nice of course this is a 2007 vintage, so still very young, so the tannins are still very high, but very well balanced with the oak aging. So in fact, this wine spent more or less 2 years in our cellar and in our cask, in the big cask, which is the classical way to make the wine in Piedmont.
One of the reasons I like this range of wines is because they're very easy to drink, and despite the fact that we're hearing about tannins here, these tannins are pretty soft here. They've softened out very, very nicely. Of course, with food you don't need just tannins at all.
Yeah.
And I'm finding it very enjoyable to drink just by itself just now. Soft tannins, a nice bit of mellow oak aging that mellows the whole wine and makes it very easy and open and soft. It's a lovely wine to drink, believe me.
Yes, thank you very much.
Let's move on.
Honestly, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Absolutely. No wonder the wife's not allowed it then, in that case.
Yeah, of course.
Priorities, I think it's about priorities, but
yes.
Here we go. So now we're on to the real thing. This is Barolo. This is serious Barolo, folks. Really is very serious.
Thank you so much. You're very kind. Hey, you know, what can I say about Barolo? Because every time I talk about Barolo and Barbaresco, I should have 2 or 3 hours to talk about them, because there is a lot of history in talking about Barolo, because Barolo together with Barbaresco are the 2 most important wines for Pio Cesare, for Piedmont as well. And this is a classical Barolo, because we forget about for 1 second the oak aging, the different style of making the wine. But this is a classical Barolo because it's a blend of different vineyards of our property in 5 different villages of the Barolo area. Mostly of that is mostly of our Barolo is come from Serralunga, from our estate Ornato. Ornato is a sort of an amphitheater, south-facing, so which is the best condition for a great vineyard. And the 50%, more or less, the 50% of this classic Barolo come from Ornato, and Serralunga is very well known for the great structure, for the big wines which are coming from Serralunga. And this taste conjugate with the taste of our vineyards in La Morra, for example. La Morra is the opposite style of Serralunga, which gives to the wine more elegant tannins, more rounder compared to Serralunga. And then together with other grapes grown in other villages like Grinzane Cavour, Novello and Barolo, makes this wine quite unique and complex.
So you've got a unique wine here which is very well blended.
Yeah.
And people are coming into the shop more and more now to try and find authentic, what they call traditional, old style. People ask me for a lot in the shop, Barolo.
Yes.
I would say this is old style Barolo. We also do the wonderful wines from Mascarello, and he makes very modern, upfront style wines that take a little while to get to know, a little while to get to appreciate. These are wines you can appreciate right away. This is a wine that is young yet, so 5, and yet it probably won't reach peak for another, in my opinion, 10 years. I think you'd probably say longer.
Yes.
And it's a wine that you can actually drink and enjoy right now, actually. So, really nice wine. Complex because of the different parcels of vines that have been taken from different parts of the land. So altogether, a very good range, I think. And I'm also just very, very pleased.
2005 is a very interesting vintage because, as you said, in a very good way, is already drinkable. You can appreciate the Barolo 2005 right now, but also this characteristic doesn't mean that you lose the aging potential. It's a wine, is a vintage with a very nice character, so immediate approach, but also it could be appreciated in the years to come without any kind of problem.
Thank you very much for coming along.
Thank you so much, Theo.
Thank you. I'd like to meet your wife sometime.
Okay.
I won't say a word about what is allowed and what is not allowed.
Yes, of course. You know that wife is the boss in our houses. So
of course. It's literally, isn't it?
Yes, it's like everywhere in the world.
Exactly.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.